Welcome to Mike's in the Garden. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Orlando, Florida. It is Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. And every Sunday I do a walk through my food forest here and take a look around, get an update on what's growing, what's showing. And let's start it off over here by the compost. We've got looks like a giant potato growing out of the compost. On this side we've got a squash plant. Here's my beautiful banana tree. Started off with 3 leaves and now we've got 6, so this is looking healthy. A couple more squash plants growing in there. And this is all on the west side of my property. My backyard is on the south side of my property and I am on a 1/4 acre. And I want to show you some of the different things I have growing here. If you're in Central Florida, hopefully it will inspire you to start growing, or at least give you some ideas on what you can grow, what you should grow, and we can learn some of this stuff together. Scattered all around my yard are marigolds. They are great for your garden, and I have a bunch of them in pots as well as scattered all around. So we'll start here with some Okinawa spinach. This is one of 2 plants that I have. Both of them are still relatively small. And then we have our longevity spinach. Both of these have only been in the ground about a month. I do have 2 other ones that were several months old, but the cold that came through kind of killed them off. This is one of our fig trees, our only fig tree right now. I may try and propagate this, but this is our fig tree, one of 1. And our cranberry hibiscus. This one's been in the ground about a month. And our other cranberry hibiscus, been in the ground about a month as well. We have a moringa. There's a couple dragon fruit. There's another dragon fruit here, and another one over here with that post. I've yet to box the top, but an aloe. Of course, all around the pool are these beautiful plumeria frangipanis and my herb spiral. We've got some lavender, and this is an African basil. And then over in my little pots along the side of the house here, I have one of my germination stations. I've got lots of herbs and spices starting to grow out of these pots here from seed. And let's continue. This is one of our mango trees that I've grown from seed. This is less than a year old, and I have it in one of these very large 25-gallon pots. We'll probably spend the rest of its life in here because I am somewhat limited on space, and I think this is a good way to contain their size. This is a Georgia peach. I'm not sure the exact type. That's one of 2 or 3 that we'll be planting. This is an avocado tree that wasn't doing too well. The only growth right now is down here at the bottom, which I don't think is great. Unfortunately, I did take too long to get this in the ground, so we'll see what happens with this bottom growth. Next we have our starfruit tree. And this has been doing really well since we transplanted it from its pot. Shout out to my friend Cecilia for hooking us up with that. And here's a pineapple we just put in the ground a couple days ago, so we'll keep an eye on that. Do have some we'll get to that are out in the front that are a couple years old. And this is the trellis tunnel. I've got squared off beds on both sides with lots of good stuff planted in there. Here is one of our kiwis. I'm hoping this will vine up and around this trellis tunnel. And on this side, a beauty berry. And same idea with this one. So here we have a bunch of carrots. Some of these look like they're almost ready to go, so keep an eye on those. We've got some beets doing pretty well back here. And some sweet potato. We've got lots of sweet potato scattered all around. Hopefully we'll not only make some great ground cover, that's a squash plant, and some nasturtium, and this sea grape tree, which I had to do some pruning because this one was not doing very well either. I was procrastinating getting them in the ground, and so now that it's in the ground, it has all this brand new growth, which is great to see. Our second moringa tree. This one will stay in the ground permanently in this location on the south side up against the fence. The other one we showed you earlier, we're going to treat more like an annual. Pull it up and consume the leaves, the roots, the bark, whatever we can at the end of the season. So you can see we've got some string beans here on this back bed, and every day I eat an avocado, and every day I try to germinate that avocado seed. So here's my multiple avocado trees growing. Also have a couple pomelos here and there. This is another one that died on me. You can see sorry about that. You can see some tiny growth coming out of the bottom there, which I don't think is necessarily a good thing, but we will keep you updated on that. But mostly pomelos back here, and we've got some beans, more beautyberry, more avocados, and hopefully some peppers will be coming out of here soon. That's our other kiwi. This is my baby of a mango tree. This one, I've grown them all from seeds. This is the best looking one out of 3. I believe it's an Atahualpa mango, if I'm saying that correctly. And of course, more avocados to our delight. Thank you, Mr. Squirrel. Actually, not thank you. I just won't use the appropriate words right now. And then here is our muscadine grapevine, doing really well on this end of the trellis tunnel. Here's a cucumber, the start of it, vining up as well. And lots of squashes here. We've got some delicata squash. As you can see, all kinds of squashes here. And it looks like this vine, for some reason, is kind of cooked. But we've got lots of spaghetti squash as well. Some lemongrass, a random tomato plant here, and some more marigolds along the way with sweet potato. And some more peas here. I think some of those lubers got to these. And more sweet potato and some carrots. And let's keep going. That's another longevity spinach in there. That is a toothache plant. Luckily, I haven't had a need for it yet. Some more delicata squashes. Here's some lemongrass again. That's another one of our peach trees. More tomatoes. More spaghetti squash. More delicata squash. And our beautiful guava tree. As you can see, there were some previous dead spots on here. This thing looked like it was dead before I got it in the ground, and it's come back with a vengeance, so very happy to see that. And sprinkled in here, we do have some sweet potato, but mostly just more squash. Lots more squash. Big squashes, these delicata squashes. Another pineapple there. That's a healthy looking pineapple. And some mint. And another Okinawa spinach. And this is more germination over here. I propagated a bunch of dragon fruits about a week or so ago, so yet to see any new growth on them. That's another container peach tree. This is probably a 20-gallon-ish size pot. These ones here I just planted some germinated loquat seeds. Some more marigolds over here. And then all of these have avocado seeds in them. So hopefully if we can prevent the squirrels from getting after them, these will be all nice trees for somebody's home. And some random plants that have been given to me over the years. And my mess of a germination station. So this here is a ganepa tree. And this one wasn't doing too well either, so now it's in a container. And it does look like there is some new growth up top here, so hopefully this thing will be back growing better and stronger than ever. Possibly some new growth here on the side, so that looks good. Not sure what's going in here yet. Probably another avocado. Here's an avocado. This is one of our other mango trees. So that would be 3 mango trees. Another peach tree. Those 2 are lemons and more pomelos along the backside. And there's a kind of a dwarf of a peach tree. I don't know if it's split in half. And another peach tree there. Squashes all abound. I guess we'll call it a squash patch. This is a radish that has bolted. We're going to let that continue, just like our arugula here has bolted, bringing in all kinds of great insects and pollinators. Another tomato, which somehow we have lots of tomatoes when we don't grow tomatoes, so somebody's bringing them in here. This wild thing is a radish. And this radish has got to be pretty big. That's the size of my fingers there. So I let this bolt the way it did because I'm curious to see how the seeds come from it, as well as, again, it brings in all kinds of bugs. You can see them buzzing around here, pollinators. So very beneficial to the garden. And then whatever we do get from this plant, whatever seeds come about it, these are going to be tremendous seeds to grow in the future. Just like this plant here with these string beans. You can see all these beans we have ready. They look delicious. We'll get a better shot over here. So here we can see all these beans ready to go. Excellent. So I'm going to let some of those go to seed. And then next year we'll know that these are the best seeds to grow here. And we've got some more cucumbers, more squashes. That's an arugula that I cut that had bolted as well. Some more peas around. This is my Jamaican strawberry tree. So hopefully we can get some fruit off of this one. I think it should be ready this year to fruit. These are all peppers. And some more sweet potato back here. It looks like they need some water. So I'll probably throw the sprinkler on shortly. And these are all peppers that seeds have just been planted, so hopefully get these peppers up shortly. I'm not even sure what this is. Not even sure. That's a turnip. These are all turnips. This is where I grew bok choy, which I let go to seed a bunch of them. And then now I'm probably gonna have bok choy growing here forever. Just like I have bok choy here next to this pile where I laid the bok choy plants. And you can see we've got bok choys growing out of here. So I don't think I'll need for bok choy anytime soon. Some more peppers trying to germinate here, marigold, and a Barbados cherry. Barbados cherry. So that's pretty much it for the backyard. We'll take you out to the front real quick. Mostly herbs and spices here. Working on some rosemary, echinacea, ashwagandha, astragalus, arnica, sage, basil, cilantro, dill, all kinds of herbs and spices. So let's go take a walk out front. All right, my mini front garden here. Got this one citrus tree. It should be orange if it's true. Guess we'll wait and find out. A couple more marigolds. Got this little plot here. HOA says no front yard garden, so we're calling this an edible landscape because, well, I don't really care. It's on top of my septic tank right here in the septic field, so I can't really put anything in the ground, but I don't think they have a right to tell me what I can plant out here. And some more marigolds, but these are corn stalks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the rest of those are weeds. Do not be fooled because I was. So hopefully in another month or so we'll have some really nice corn to enjoy. And here's our pineapple patch. This is the oldest one, probably 2 years almost, if not just over 2 years. A bunch of our pineapples. And as you can see, this does get a lot of afternoon shade, so this peach tree is not doing that well. It does have new growth on it. It's not extraordinary growth, but it does have new growth. And this is a Meyer lemon. And this has new growth. All of this here is new since it's been transplanted. You can see some flowering there. Maybe not. And a raspberry bush. Another container. Citrus. And this morning I transplanted these beauty berries. Different kind of beauty berry from the ones in the back, and some hibiscus and a birds of paradise. Sorry. That pretty much rounds out the front. Along the side here, if you're still watching, give us a like and subscribe because we're going to have more videos like this, interviews. We're going to be going to other people's gardens here in Central Florida and seeing what everybody else is doing, and we can learn from them. Now in here, I did plant some turmeric. That might be a turmeric there. And some ginger over here. And that's pretty much all I have going and growing on this side of the house. I was starting some plants from seed in here and then transplanting them because they didn't get sun till the afternoon and they didn't get quite cooked. So that's kind of the tour of the garden. I appreciate you following and checking in. Gonna head back here. And that's it. Future project is to redo this area to make it more garden friendly. Of course, being mindful of chlorine chemicals over here. So that's one of the next projects. And thank you for this walk and talk, following and listening. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below. Definitely give us a like, share, follow, subscribe. I hate having to say all that, but if you want to, it would be great, fantastic. If not, hopefully we'll see you again on the next video. Peace and love.